Hi, I'm Jonathan Weinberg. Today I'm going to talk about the Opus 88 Flex Nib, which at least to me is a new product. Until recently, when you bought a Opus 88 pen like this, a demonstrator pen, which are wonderful, really beautiful pen, you had a choice between a fine, a medium, a broad, I think a stub nib. But they didn't have a flex nib the way the Conklin pens do. Anyway, now they do. I don't know for a fact, but I'm pretty sure, like the other Opus 88 nibs, it's a Jovo nib, which means that it's made in Germany. And I think it's very similar to the OmniFlex nibs, which Jovo makes for Conklin and makes for their Monteverdi line. Jaffa Pens has owns those two companies. So what I'm going to do is do a writing sample, and I'm going to do some drawing. I also will compare it to the regular nib that came with this pen, the fine nib that I have for it. Just to remind you about the Opus 88 demonstrator, and actually, I guess all of Opus 88 pens, it's an eyedropper pen. It opens here, and then it has ink in it, so I don't want to fiddle with it, but it opens here and you use an eyedropper and you put ink into it, but it has a valve that you can close so that if you're traveling on a plane and the air pressure changes the ink, it stops the ink from spilling out of the pen. And a pen like this demonstrator pen, as you can see, holds just a tremendous amount of ink in it, so it's great for that. And it uses a number 6 nib, so a lot of artists are able to switch nibs on it. I've had luck using Fountain Revolution Ultra Flex nib with this, and you can use other nibs. So now one of the possibilities is to use this flex nib. Okay, so there you see the demonstrator, the Opus 88 demonstrator pen with the new flex nib. And I'm not sure how well it will focus, but there you go. And here's what the older nib, Opus 88 nib, looked like. The fine nib looked like. You can see them next to each other. How both similar they are, and then how really the flex nib is what makes it flexing is the cutouts on either side. Makes it look a little more like a bird. And as I say, I'm assuming that these are both made by Jovo, and you have a similar kind of choice on the Conklin pens and the Monteverdi pens. And what's nice is that you can just screw this out like this, and then you can put the new nib into this. I don't want to touch the other one because it's already inked up. Okay, so here's a writing sample of the flex nib. I'm using, again, the Opus 88 demonstrator with Pilot black ink. This is the Fine Flex Nib. And I think it says it's Pilot black ink, not platinum. And you can see that you get some line variation. And the amazing thing is there's no railroading at all, but you really have to put quite a lot of pressure down, and you get something like a medium, well, fine to a broad maybe. The fine is not very fine, but the whole thing is quite smooth and wet and very, very reliable. So I think it's a very pleasant nib. And I think it's a very good alternative. The reverse writing works. So very smooth. There's a little bit of bounce, a little bit of feedback. And it's really a semi-flex is what I would call it. And here's a comparison just of the regular fine, which I have to say for Opus 88 is very smooth. The nibs, I've never had a problem with an Opus 88 nib. And but you see you don't get any line variation. Also, you can see with the hellos up ahead above that there is some line variation, but not a lot. And here I'm doing an odd drawing of Locust. I am in the process of illustrating the Moses stories, and I'm doing the plagues. So one of the plagues are locusts, not lotus, locusts. These funny, beautiful bugs, actually. And my plan is to do, I think, definitely doing the frogs, and then I'm doing the locust. I think I'll probably do the blood. I don't think I'm going to do all the plagues, but several. I will definitely like doing the animal ones, and these insects are fun. And I really enjoyed drawing with this nib. You can see that you're not getting a lot of variation, but you're getting some, and it's very smooth and it's very wet. It flows really nicely across the page. So it's a real pleasure to use this, I thought, and particularly with the Demonstrator pen, which is it's a very large pen, but it feels really good in the hand. It's beautiful color. It holds a tremendous amount of ink, so it's really terrific. And it was fun to draw these bugs.